Hello people, this is Eric Cobra,
And Rana Naraja.
And Warlord 1?
And Kivinia.
and this is Let's Play Lone Wolf Blind. The story so far. You are the Grandmaster, blah 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 blah. All this again.
Yes, we are the Grandmaster, blah blah.
Yeah.
Of blah blah. Who has done blah blah.
And blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah? Blah.
Og vi ejer en meget interessant... Oh, sorry. And we own a very interesting burger bar.
With Kai students, crocodile men, and zombies. Okay, let's see. Here's something new. After emerging from Rule Triumphant, your quest fulfilled, you returned home to Summerland and the Kai Monastery, where you resumed your duties as Grandmaster. 3 months later, on the day that saw the first fall of winter snow, you were visited by Lord Rimoa. Once again he found himself the reluctant bearer of ill news. Your friend, Guildmaster Baindon, whilst helping with the reclamation of wastelands close to the Moken Gorge, had been abducted by a warband of Gyaks under the command of Natsiranim sorcerers.
Yeah, but they didn't actually want him, they just wanted us to come and rescue him so that we could something.
Die, most likely. That's why they sent the giant rodent with the oversized jaws after us in the end.
The oddest rodent-based creature I have actually ever seen.
It just looked like its teeth was too big for its mouth.
It was.
Yeah.
The text even mentioned that that was the case.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, Kadak is probably very good at the whole efficient creature, but he has a long way to go before he's become good at the whole design aspect. Such creatures is meant to inspire terror and fear in your enemies, not ridicule and laughter. In any case, a rescue was attempted, but ruthlessly the Natsiranim obliterated those who tried to follow their escape into the Darklands. It was feared that the Natsiranim would try to extract from Baindon the secrets of left-handed magic, so that they might marry it to their own foul sorcery. Such an outcome would have given them extraordinary power enough to revive the Darklands.
But Kadak was too dumb to figure that out and really put an effort into it.
Well, it was more like, you know, Baindon didn't tell him how it worked.
Yeah, but he just stopped trying and then just said, hey, now he's bait.
Yeah.
That was all I ever had him for anyway, so...
Yeah,
Why did he continue? Baindon was constantly passing out at the point where we found him.
Yep.
He could have nursed him a little bit and then tortured him again and then nursed him and Also, he gave into exhaustion and Stockholm syndrome.
Yep. Well, according to Kadak, going by the way Kadak reacted, he apparently looked down on the magic that Baindon used and thought of it as less than the ones he already had. So, yeah.
Maybe it was just bait.
I don't know. A previous attempt to unite the two paths of magic had resulted in catastrophe for Summerlund. In the year MS 5050, Vonotar the Traitor, a magician from the same guild as Baindon, had betrayed his homeland in exchange for the promise of Natsiranim power. It was his act of treachery which brought about the invasion of Summerlund and the destruction of the First Order of the Kai.
That was the guy with the rowboat, wasn't it?
Yep. The rowboat. But fortunately we killed him when he was in the one place where there was no rowboat.
Yes.
Baindon's survival depended upon a swift rescue from Kog. Mindful of all that was at stake, courageously you volunteered to enter the city fortress alone in an attempt to save your friend. Despite fierce odds, you gained entry to Kog, located Baindon, and then snatched him from the foul denizens of that city by way of a daring aerial escape from the upper levels of their great citadel. Baindon was severely weakened by his ordeal at the hands of the Natsiranim, and, had it not been for your timely intervention, he would certainly have perished in that grim city fortress. The rescue of Guildmaster Baindon and his safe return to Summerlund was cause for much celebration, especially in the streets and guild halls of his native city of Toran. For several days you allowed yourself to be fatigued. Huh, never seen that word before.
Whatever.
By the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star, before returning to your monastery where, with a feeling of quiet satisfaction, you gladly resumed your duties as Kai Grandmaster. So the year ended and another began, yet even before the snow or winter had begun to fall, once again your unique skills were being sought in the relentless struggle against evil. This time, the plea for help arrived by way of a foreign ambassador, a special envoy who had traveled thousands of miles from the court of King Sarnak of Lencia. Their war against the Dracarim, who were under the command of Magnorn, the High Warlord of Dark, had stagnated ever since the onset of winter, and recently the whole campaign had taken a turn for the worse. Valentians learned that Magnorn had undertaken a quest for the Doomstone of Dark, an artifact of legendary evil. It was said that this gem was the most powerful of all the Doomstones created by Agarash the Damned during the Age of Eternal Night.
Who comes up with these names?
I don't know!
I mean, seriously.
The darkness of the dark in the very dark age of...
Created
Yeah.
by the Doomed. Who the
Sis.
fuck names these things?
I don't know!
All I
This
can
is
tell you...
ridiculous.
All I can tell is I think at this point even Sauron is standing there banging his head against the wall going, "Oh, for goodness sake, be more creative."
Yeah, or that guy from Charlene's Showdown is saying, dude, even I know when you're overdoing it.
And that guy was going evil every other second.
Oh
But-
yeah,
yeah.
Chase Young.
Yeah. Before the demise of the Dark
Wait,
Lords,
before you continue, who did you say created those Doomstones?
Agarash the Damned.
Okay.
Before the demise of the Dark Lords, this Doomstone had rested in the head of Nyra's scepter, a magical weapon wielded by Dark Lord Dakushna, Lord of Kagorst. In the chaos
Yes.
that followed the wake of Dakushna's destruction, the Nyra scepter was lost, though many secretly believed it to have been stolen by one of Dakushna's Naziranim sorcerers. Some months later during the
What
war...
did you say? Your voice just cut out on me there completely.
Oh, sorry.
What I heard was, some say sorcerers. What? Some
Though-
say sorcerers.
Yeah, okay. In the chaos that followed the wake of Dakushna's destruction, the Nyra's scepter was lost, though many secretly believe it to have been stolen by one of Dakushna's Naziranim sorcerers. Some months later, during the war in Nyras, the scepter reappeared, but the Doomstone was missing from its setting atop the scepter's platinum haft. "We fear that Magnorn is close to finding the Doomstone of Dark," said the Valentian envoy. "Already he..." Yeah. Don't know what is. I don't know what's with my throat right now. It's ticklish. "Already he possessed the scepter's haft. My liege, King Sarnak, beseeches you, Grandmaster Lone Wolf, to come to our aid. Help us find the Doomstone and thwart Magnorn's plan, for if he successfully reunites the Doomstone and the Nyra scepter, he will command a power capable of our undoing. With respect, my lord, surely this one weapon, however evil it might be, is no match when pitted against all the armored might of Lencia," you replied diplomatically. As
Okay,
yet,
seriously, what we have been through, that's quite believable. Shut up, Lone Wolf, you're being dumb.
you replied diplomatically, as yet unconvinced by the envoy's plea. "Perhaps so, Grandmaster," he replied. "Were the nature of the threat merely the weapon alone? Sadly, this is not the only issue here. Until now, the Naziranim sorcerers who control the strongholds of Kagorst and Akakasat have refused to aid Magnorn in his war against us. Many times he has begged them for help, for within these fortress walls are thousands of Gyaks and other breeds who sought sanctuary there after the defeat of the Dark Lords. They still possess their weapons, and they would make a formidable army if ever they were mustered against us. Magnorn's possession of the Doomstone of Dark will most certainly influence the Naziranim. Its power is such that Magnorn could simply force them to obey his every command. Their refusal would result in their immediate destruction." Politely you dismissed the envoy while you considered your response to his plea. In the solitude of your chamber, you pondered the problem, weighing the plight of Lencia against your duties and responsibilities there at the Kai Monastery. At length, after careful deliberation, you reached your decision. "Well, my lord," inquired the envoy nervously upon re-entering your chamber, "will you help us thwart Magnorn?" "Once, not so very long ago, your king and his army aided me during my quest for the Magnakai," you replied. "Perhaps now the time has come for me to repay my debt of gratitude. Yes, I shall help you. I shall return with you to Lencia and champion your cause. I vow that I shall do all in my power to thwart Magnorn's quest. Thus begins Lone Wolf, the Dark Crusade."
I see.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have been sort of complaining in my mind how that no time can pass before we have to help people again. But this actually sounds dire.
It always does. Anyway, it's time for you to get a new Grandmaster discipline. You can choose
Okay.
between Grand Weapon Mastery, Animal Mastery, Deliverance, Assimilance, Grand Pathmanship, Grand Nexus, Kai Alchemy.
And Assimilance did what again?
It's upgraded camouflage abilities. It also allows you to do minor changes to your own physical appearance and stuff.
You two, any ideas?
I would say grand weapon mastery, but I don't know. Kivnia, what do you think?
Sounds good to me.
So
mean-
it is. Oh.
Yeah.
No, speak your mind. Speak your mind.
No, I actually think that's a good idea.
Okay.
We needed Nexus a few times last time, but we got through.
Then let's just take that then. Okay. Nexus.
Grand Nexus.
So, Nexus?
Yeah, Grand Nexus.
And I add what under the description?
Ability to resist harmful elements, such as fire and acid, for hours.
No, but as I said, we got through fine, so maybe we should look at some of the more active.
You just keep changing your mind, don't you?
And that's because you don't let me speak out. Stop interrupting me when I'm contemplating.
Kivnia contemplates loudly. That is, she doesn't voice her final opinion, she voices her train of thoughts.
Oh, I thought she was voicing a final opinion.
Yeah, lots of people do that to her.
But still, take time and, well,
Also, she sounds like she's made up her mind every time she talks, so it doesn't sound like she's pondering something.
Yeah, that also happens a lot.
It sounds like okay, this is what I mean. It sounds like she's made up her mind about it.
Admittedly, that does happen a lot. But, yeah, what ability do you guys want?
then again, it depends on also where we are going. As in for environment and into hostile territory, so maybe the Grand Nexus can actually help us.
Well, you can talk about it while I go get some more water, because my throat is annoying me. I'll be right back.
Doogie.
We are at least in agreement that it's going to be one of those two, right?
Either Grand Weapon Mastery or Grand Nexus.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement of that. The question is just what could be more beneficent.
Well, I think it's our experience that we aren't killed immediately by the environment. So it's more likely, so it does mostly produce a lot of...
Alright,
lot
I'm
of-
back.
What is it? A lot of endurance.
Ah,
So it might be a good... But we do get into some relatively tough fights as of lately. So I think Weapon Master, we might actually be the better one of the two for right now.
so we can cut through a little tougher opponents.
Yep.
Okay, so
I-
weapon mastery. Grand weapon mastery.
Alright.
Okay. And let me see. I add on the description what?